Make our dreams come true, yeah. Make our dreams come true. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Master teacher. Master teacher. Info building time. Murray. Rahubat, Rahubat, Moisar, Ashok, Ashok. Katap, Wu, Ashok. Fade away. Let's be strong. So the few were chosen. How about you? Master teacher. Master teacher. Rahubat, everyone joining. Jason Mason, Moisar, Hatap, Rahubat. Sunra 999. Love, Ashok. Panama Angel, Rahubat, Moisar, Ashok. LA Storyteller, Horus Ra, Rahubat. Yeah, Rahubat. Tio Kennedy, Rahubat, Ashok. Tio Kennedy, can we start with the questions? Yes, we will today. We have to acknowledge Partner Babyanun. So I'll play this song from Love and Unity to remind us. Sherlyn Gums, Mrs. Rahubat. Sami Abdullah, Rahubat. This needs electric slide. Yeah, for real. Chris Mafolo, Rahubat. Rahubat, Lionel. Chief Shark 939, Rahubat. Yeah, we're just waiting for more people to join. Draco in the house, Rahubat. B. B's in the house. B. Morrison, Rahubat. Ra, teacher. I have a question. All right, yeah, we're going to get to the questions. We're going to get to your questions. Draco, we're definitely going to answer that question. As soon as the song finishes, we're going to get into the questions. Man, it's so good seeing you all joining. Spy that Trinity TV. Rahubat. Good to see that people have liked the video. Bring him home now. Everyone can help us bring the master teacher home. Okay, family, Rahubat. Let me just turn this down. Okay, so yeah, today, as usual, we want to take time out to acknowledge Partner Babyanun, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York, the master teacher. And yeah, for all of those that want to help, you know, I'm posting a link in the chat. How can I help? That's a question we get a lot as well. So you can help by doing your best, by living Wu-Sabat, being the example that, you know, others would like to look and say, I like that, I want to be like that, you know. And then, of course, you can support all the efforts to free him. You know, I've posted the link in the chat, all right? Because honestly, We want the whole world to be aware. We want to bring awareness to the master teacher, because like, you know, what they're doing is wrong. And there's no wrong, or shall I say, there's no right way to do wrong things. That's one of his saying as well. So wrong is wrong, right is right. So he's all right, wise, and exact. So let's do our best. Everyone, do your best. And we, of course, always ask that even something as simple as you sharing the videos, liking the videos, subscribing, helping with any little donation or whatever, it all goes a long way. It helps us because the algorithm, you know, helps us to basically reach more people. And that's what Wu-Sabat is here for, is to reach the world and change this, you know, paradigm that people are stuck in the spell of religion. But let's get into the questions. Okay, Rahubat, thank you so much. This is LA Storyteller, Horus Ra. Rahubat, thank you so much for taking the time to share your divine wisdom and knowledge. Freedom Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi ZK, you're 100%. It's his divine wisdom and knowledge. You know, we're just student teachers, just doing our best to get the word out, and everyone on here can do the same, you know. Okay. Tio Kennedy, you said, can we start with the questions? Yes, but I don't see you asking a question yet, so keep going down. Rahubat, Saken, Moisar, Ashuk, to each and everyone. That's Chris. All we came to do is make the whole world straight. Yep. All you came to do is set the record straight. That's what it says. That, and there's a song that he's got out from way back in the day, called Set the Record Straight, basically. Ashuk, Ashe, Chief, Ashe. This is crazy. Physics brought me to you. You know what? It's not crazy, because we keep explaining that everything is a vibration, you know, movement, vibration, oscillation. And once you're on the right frequency, you know, you will resonate with other people on the frequencies. And the devices, these devices, they light, you know, whether it's a VDU, a screen, a computer, phone, it's emitting light. That's energy, that's frequency. And they tell you once the student is ready, you know, the teacher will appear. Excuse me. So you have to be ready and vibrating on that frequency, and you will connect. So it's physics brought you here, but it's not crazy, it's reality. Yeah, love the song. I love the song too, by Love and Unity. Help push it, share it. It will be available for download soon. Okay, Shirlene, if I'm pronouncing your name properly. Gums, Mrs. I have a question. What happens when someone commits suicide or wills themselves to die? There has been an increase in suicide amongst Nubians where I am. Okay, you know, we don't want to get flagged, so we say people unaliving themselves. That's a very serious question, because mental health is on the rise, because remember that you act out what you think. So if I can distort your mind or create so much chaos, so much confusion, that you don't know whether you're coming or going, you don't know what's real from what is true, what is false, what's going on in the world, and you're just in this system where it's all about consumerism, it's about materialism, like the real essence of real life. You know, Luther Vandross said the best things in life are free. So when we start to not take things like kindness, you know, mindfulness, ashuk, concern, care, you know, valuing nature, conversations, you know, soul to soul, you know, if we're not applying these things and giving them the currency that they deserve, we get caught up in the rat race, we get caught up in the chaos and the stressfulness and the fear And all of this energy can get to a point where people feel like, you know what, I can't take it anymore. I can't. But as you said, that's one of the worst things you can do, because a lot of the times when people do that, it's because they haven't been given the knowledge or the information about what happens afterwards. Because most people, they teach you only the physical information, and even then they don't give you the authentic version, they give you watered down versions. Whereas a spiritual master like Partner Babyanun teaches you both how to deal with the unseen world and the seen world, because you're getting messages and information and frequencies, vibrations from not only the physical, what you know, what you see around you, but also from what you don't know. And then you have the internal battles going on between your ancestors, your agreeable and disagreeable ancestors, as well as external entities. So there's a lot going on that it can be too much to cope with. This is why you have to have a strong mind. And the master teacher wrote the book, The Mind, right? The mind, because the mind is the central processing unit of your being, as being a computer or a holographic computer, which means that you're processing light information coming from outside in, and then you have a radio in your head. This is how you're able to hear voices in your head, and you transmit and you receive, and you're doing that by way of frequencies. So in order to deal with both sides of the physical world and what people term the spiritual world, or the unseen world and the seen world, you have to be a master. So when you go to university, even if you get to that level, so by studying, right, and going to higher education, is putting you under pressure, because, you know, you start off with nursery or kindergarten, and then you go into primary, secondary, and then if you keep going to obtain degrees, and that's supposed to challenge you more and more to think. So when you get to university, you're put under pressure to the point where you should be able to cope and deal with life. However, you get, at most people may do their first degree, and then some may go on and do a master's degree, and then others may go on and do postgraduate or higher learning degrees and maybe get a PhD or whatever, doctorate or whatever, right? That's 3 degrees, when they teach you that a completion is 360 degrees. So work it out. You've only got 3 degrees out of 360 of the physical world, and you still got to learn 360 degrees of the spiritual world, totaling 720 when you put them together. So you come out only to be a tool or a slave to work and just do the basics. So you're being programmed to be the best slave that you can be. And then you wonder why you can't cope. So going back to that question, the pressures of this physical world can take a toll. So the mind is the mechanism by which you use to control, be centered, be balanced, deal with how you act. And people that don't know the information about what happens is they don't know that they keep coming back and repeating the cycle. And it can be worse the next time because you haven't perfected yourself to the point where you can cope. Of course, if it's serious mental health issue, it's when the connection, because remember that your brain sends messages, you know, electrical signals and synapses communicating by way of your neurons. There can be a malfunction. You know, the connection is wrong. You just short circuit. So it's important that Wu-Sabat is here to teach you to unconfuse the chaos and the confusion in your mind, so that you know what's happening. You know where you came from, how you got here, where you're going, how to conduct yourself during this period that you're here, how to master and learn the things you need to, so that you can have a smooth transition to the next stage or the next level of your existence. Okay, so to answer the question again, what happens to you is that depending on what you do, you come back in terms of, there's an actual scroll that goes into this, which is referred to as the master secret, the spiritual you after the physical you dies, life after death. We've got many scrolls that the master has written to deal with this subject, and the 24 elders that goes into it. Yeah, so the increase is caused by when you're completely lost, like you don't know who you are and you just accept things. You don't know where you came from. You get all of these stories and nobody can answer your questions. So you wander around kind of lost until you might connect with something or someone and you go down that path thinking this is going to give you the answers, one of the three frogs. And when you get to a point where it doesn't, you're still left with this void, this hole that needs to be filled. And because it's about you resonating with it, if you don't resonate with it, then you're just going to go up and go, let me go and look for something else. And you can keep doing this and your life is being wasted until you come across Wu-Sabat and boom, you get a DNA explosion. Then you start to learn about the universe, truly, not university that doesn't teach you about the universe, but that real, like, this is just one tiny planet in a solar system, in a galaxy, in the universe, with many multiverses to omniverse. And it's big. It's like as tiny as we are, there's a whole cosmos out there. So that's what you need to do to be balanced and learn how to conduct yourself. All right? So that's what's going on. And we are here to help, because once you get rid of those misconceptions, the mythology, the lies, you feel light. You start to, you haven't got that burden to carry around, and then you start to do the right things, start eating right, start doing things that are going to help you elevate. Okay, Draco, I know Wu-Sabat doesn't believe in religion, but do you believe in a one universal God? See, that's the six ether programming. Everyone keeps trying to bring everything back to God, or the one universal God, when there is no such thing. Because even where you're getting the word God from, like, that's what I'm saying, you've got to look at words, because words are tones, vibrations and frequencies, and they have an effect on you. And this is done by design, because the word God can come from different origins, as in German, Gut, as in Gad, as in, El Shad, they say El Shaddai, which actually translate as demon, So one God to one person is completely something else to someone else. So the word God is not really the term. Although with religion, you're programmed to believe. Number one, you said, but do you believe? We say from the get-go, we don't really believe, because believe is to belie Eve, to lie to Eve's children. And it's about lies, and we don't subscribe to lies. So we don't believe, we like to know. Know is the first part of the word, knowledge, and we like to know. And to know, you've got to research, you've got to, extrapolate, you've got to dissect, you've got to scrutinize, you've got to get to the detail and the bottom of everything. So, and there's not only one universe, there are multiverses, omniverse. So, yeah, we don't have a one universal God. Now, it depends also how you're breaking down God. If you mean the being that is like the one we subscribe to or look to, then in our case, we tell you that's Parnababyanun, who is a part of the ninth council, tying into Ptah, tying into these Natharu, that are Etherians, and Etherians are pure energy beings. So beings that have elevated so much to a certain level. In fact, look out for the video we're putting out soon on the different extraterrestrial beings. So no, to answer your question, but we can say, like, if you want to look at, okay, on the planet, different races will have someone as they go, oh, Allah or God or Buddha or this person, then for us that would be Ptah. Okay. Great. Rahubat, Professor N to you. Spy that Trini TV, peace, Rahubat. Greatness, shalom. Shalom, or Rahubat as we say. Shalom is peace, or salam. Salamu, assalam. And you said shalom, wadu, good people. You literally said peace by good people. Can you explain what is gang stalking and why they do it? All right. The simplest way of explaining that is what I was saying at the beginning in terms of the energy. Like, you attract certain types of energy to you, and you have beings that are monitoring different types of energies. So gang stalking is the concept where they say, if you are trying, let's say crabs in a barrel, you're trying to get out, you're trying to escape the norm or the status quo, and someone's like, they're trying to bring you back or draw you back. So it's like, you know, like, let's say the movie The Matrix. There are people who are still in the Matrix and they don't know that they're in a Matrix. And there are those who have unplugged. And then you have all these agents called Agent Smith, right? Who can morph. There could be anybody or anything at any time, but once they are aware or they're alerted or sent information about you, and they're trying to get you to not convert other people away from the Matrix, they just morph into Agent Smith and then they come for you. And then it's a whole gang of people or system that everywhere you go, because there's something they see in your energy, in your vibration, in the way that you're moving, and they're like, you're not one of us. So they stalk you to come and try and stop you from escaping, from coming out of, you know, the crabs in the barrel, from coming out, or from being unplugged from the Matrix, or from waking up, opening your third eye, starting to really realize that, you know what I mean, you're in this illusion and you're being programmed in a particular way. And so that's what gang stalking is really talking about. And it's a matter of trying to keep you in the system, in the illusion. And why though? The point is that you're feeding the machinery or the system, and the energy that you have, they are utilizing. So imagine it's like if you had, let's say, think of a good example. Let's say you had batteries that were being used to power something, the machinery. Let's call that the Matrix. If every one of those batteries started to unplug, then the Matrix is going to lose power. And if you are able to convince other batteries to come out, because that's what, I use the word, the battery example, because in the Matrix, they literally show you that the humans were actually, the machines had taken over and they were utilizing the human babies as batteries, you see. So it's about the energy at the end of the day, and that energy that feeds the system cannot, they don't want it to die out. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, that's gang stalking, we've covered that. Anthony, Rahubat, Tavian Brower, heard the master teacher was offered time served but denied it. Is that true? If so, he's definitely be home soon. Right, so in terms of the legal, we don't really discuss the legal publicly when it comes to certain aspects of it. Of course, I put the link in the chat how you can help. And yeah, obviously no one discusses strategies and all kinds of things publicly. You can't put your ace out, right? But the master has been offered many things in terms of, you know, for him to basically denounce the teachings and things like that, which of course he's here to teach truth and he's about truth. So there's no way he's going to do that. So there've been many, you know, situations where certain offers were made that he refuses because, you know, he has a particular way that he would like to be exonerated. Yeah, patience is important for your mind. Absolutely. Patience is, this is why things like meditation, and meditation is working in conjunction with your mind, calming it down, being able to, you know, not try to forcefully control it, but to know that it's a beast. It's a very hard thing to tame. So you have to actually be like able to monitor it. It doesn't like being monitored. You have to become its friend. And then, have you ever seen when people are trying to tame horses? You know, like the cowboy movies where there's a stubborn horse and it needs to be tamed. And, you know, you got to kind of like figure out how to calm it down. And eventually you become his friend, and then you can saddle up and you and that horse are now, in fact, the movie Avatar, you know, they were there to fly, and but you had to choose what animal you were gonna, I don't remember what they're called, they're like those big birds, but you had to connect with them, and they had their tails, and making that connection, there's a way, because you're dealing with respect and nature, and yeah, so that's what you got to do with the mind, so that you can actually work with it and you guys become best friends. Then it will do its best for you. Yeah, people that are saying El Kaloon and things like that, this is, yeah, old Arabic and information. So Papa Ut, we're saying now, because that was the all, but yeah, we're saying Papa Ut in Wu-Sabat. Where can I buy Zig Zag Zig, the renewal of the lessons? Woo! That's a collector's item. I think I've got one. I've got my copy, and yeah, I mean, this is why when you see the scrolls, believe you me not. So it's not belief, right? We say this to people all the time. When the scrolls are available, make sure you get your copy, because, you know, like, imagine you've got so many products, and there's a logistical aspect to which ones you publish, which ones are selling, which ones are not, which ones are, you know, so when you see them, get them, because there come a time when there are books, you know, classics that, man from Planet Risk, mine is literally falling apart. That's how long I've had it for. And others, you know, that people are selling at extortionate prices online, the holy tablets, you know. So yeah, get yours when you can. I don't know if you can get one online or somebody is, hey, we got a special guest in the house. What's happening, bro? Right, long time. Yeah, that's cool. Is this delayed? I don't see him on the.
Ooh, vampire.
Is he here? Is this a ghost? Oh, there he is. Yeah, so it's a bit delayed. Okay, right. So how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, good to see you. Everyone keeps asking me. They think I've kind of hidden you in a suitcase or in a wardrobe somewhere. I'm like, nah, man. The brother keeps traveling and
yeah,
yeah,
work,
you know.
work. We're back on the scene though. So
yeah,
yeah,
good to see you.
Be back.
All right, let's keep going with these questions. All right, people are saying welcome back. Yeah, they miss you, man. Right, let's go back to where I was. Yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. Asaru in the house. You see Asaru's back here. Show some love. Free partner Babia Nun, for sure. Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, so that, yeah, the zigzag, you might have to just Google and Amazon and see what you can do. Yeah. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you want it, you can actually project and manifest it. Panama Angel, thank you, Saken, for what you are doing. No, thank you, guys, because without you, you know,
That's
like,
it. Yeah.
who would we be talking to?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and each one, reach one,
yeah.
and teach one, yes. Okay, I have a son, and I think I'm going to introduce him to Wu-Sabat. Don't think about it, just do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Yeah, that's good. We want them from the young age. That's where their minds won't get polluted, and you know they won't get caught up, and they start off straight away living Wu-Sabat. So that's great. Okay, are they clones amongst us? Absolutely.
Ooh,
You may be one. You don't know. In the Man from Planet Risk book,
yeah,
actually,
yeah.
if you find that page with the clone, because it talks about the twigging and the clones, and we might give you a little piece of that. Yeah, there are many clones amongst us. These days, with AI, with robots, and they've been telling you in the movies anyway. Go back and watch movies like Demolition Man and watch a lot of the old movies. They were telling you about this day and time, and they're robotoids, clones, yeah, all sorts, cyborgs, shape-shifting beings. There's so much.
Yeah, look, cloning there.
Yeah,
Man from
there
Planet
you
Risk.
go, the different clones. Yeah. Do you want to read anything from there? Or?
Can do. Let's see.
Yeah, more clones. All right, you find something that if you want to share with everyone, and I'll keep going. Has the master teacher ever spoke of red orbs making shapes on the sky? If so, is there any meaning behind it? Well, recently there were orbs of all kinds, different lights people were seeing, and but of course, as we always say, like truth is always mixed with falsehood. So there were people that were flying different types of drones, and there are different types of actual extraterrestrial crafts, which they were referring to as orbs. So it was a mixture of different lights, different colors, and yeah. So in terms of has the master spoke about red orbs particularly, not in particular that I know of. But you know, we may get that. That's the one thing with us, like, you know, you have, like, if you have an iPhone, if you're Apple, you have to wait for the updates. But we get those updates regularly. You know, don't have to wait for version whatever in like 6 months or whatever. Peace, family. I'm hoping we can discuss Black Root Science creation story and ancient information from Botswana. Discussions can take hours, so this is a Q&A, and ask us anything. So, I mean, if you have a question, just ask the question, but discussing it, yeah, that can take a long time. What is going, okay, we've talked about gang stalking already. Yeah, join the official Telegram group. It's posted in the chat because we carry on with the conversations after the live stream. Why is it that women outnumbers men on this planet? Well, firstly, because a lot of men, depending on which men you're talking about, you have different races, and with the Nagaru or the Negroids, a lot of them, you know, they get on alive, they get put in jail, the concentration in terms of, we were talking about mental health, in terms of literally the prisons are full with them. So men also have been given, by way of the fact that we only have XY and the female have XX, the ends of the chromosomes, which give you your telomeres, they have more. So men suffer with more of stress because of the pressures of the society, the way it's been set up. Because, like, especially Nagaru men, where you're supposed to be the provider, but then you're not given the opportunities and the way to be able to be the provider. So, you know, like, you end up being stressed out because it's kind of like your manhood's been taken.
Yeah.
And then there's this whole notion with the androgynous agenda to, what's the feminization?
That's
Yeah.
what I was just, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, the men are shrinking by the minute. And even by just natural creation, the man is supposed to be producing more offspring. And that's why by design, the male can impregnate more than one female at the same time, whereas it can't work the other way around. So there's so much attack on the males that males are not males these days.
No.
A lot of men, if you're masculine or come across with that masculinity, then you're a threat, because you look at, you know, the society where the men, like other like Europeans or Asians are from, they're more like, if you look at the Greeks and the Romans, they were actually mainly known for being homosexuals, and this is not even a secret. So that's why there are so many reasons. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that, but there's so many reasons for why there are less men. Oh, you actually did say black men, did you?
Even
No, you
the
just
prostate
said,
cancer and all these foods that we eat in as
Yeah.
well, that will affect us.
yeah. And remember, women were here first anyway, so the women will outnumber the men, and also they determine the sex of the child, you know. So when they're in the womb, before that the organs are determined whether it's going to be X, Y, or X.
I think the ratio as well, I think, was it 9-1 or something like that, or 3-1 compared to women to
Yeah.
every.
And this is why in our ancient cultures and societies, it was fine, you know, to have more than one wife. And westernized people, I'll say women, they don't want to hear that because of this kind of like indoctrination of one man, one woman. And don't get me wrong now, I'm saying like,
Even Adam had 2 wives, isn't it?
you're starting trouble now, right? But it's true. He had Lilith and yeah,
The cable.
and the cable
or
Eve. Yeah, but you know, that's something that people don't talk. It's not just him. Abraham,
Yeah,
Sarah,
Solomon, yeah,
Keturah,
yeah.
Solomon, Jesus.
Yep.
You see, we can keep going. Like, it's not something that is uncommon, but it's hidden. And so, yeah, because, and another thing as well, the women have to realize as well that it's about what makes sense. You're using logics and knowledge and not emotion, because if you think about it, when, say, a woman is going through a menstrual cycle or she's pregnant, it's good to have a helper on other females that will be able to do the things you can't do in that, you know what I mean, in that predicament. So,
I mean, that's how it was in ancient customs.
yeah,
You know.
it's about communities, it's not about individualism. But I won't dwell on that too much unless you ask more questions. Let's keep going. Okay, next one. So my question is, this is Theo Kennedy. Who taught the master teacher? I'm digesting your videos. They're great, but I have questions on who taught him. How did he learn all this information? That's the miracle right there, because we are explaining and telling people of he is a reincarnation of the being known as Tahuti,
Yep.
right? And he is an avatar, and he was selected and chosen by the forces of nature to renew the 24,000 cycle referred to as the sun cycle. The gold, you know, they called it the silver and the gold age when you're dealing with the moon and the sun cycle. And so beings literally guide his pen, and the one that guides his pen is in the spiritual, is known as Parnababyanun, known by many names over the ages. And so he tells you that his pen is guided, so the information comes through him. And he's a part of the 24 elders. You know, there are different 24 elders, like we have a 24 elders within our culture. But that's not the 24 elders I'm referring to. I'm talking about the ones they tell you in the scriptures, you know, spoken about in the holy tablets, etc. So, yeah, he is someone that has been chosen to come back with 76 trillion years of knowledge and basically renew everything on the planet and give us back our culture, which is known as Wu-Sabat. And it's our time to teach the truth and the supreme information that was hidden from you for 6,000 years.
The reformer of this day and time.
Absolutely. So when you say where does he get his information from, it's coming from above, from the Parental.
Yeah.
And the good thing that you're asking is, how was it that at 25 years old, he was able to translate all these scriptures, yeah, and put them in its pristine order, and no one else has been able to do that on the planet, you know? Okay, let's go to Adam. Rahubat, why all my family members are hating on me? And since I was born, I am the black sheep. Whatever I did in life, the devils comes out. What is this matrix? I'm 32, man. I don't play this. You're not the only one, bro. We've all been through it.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying at the beginning about being unplugged from the matrix and your eyes being open, like the movie They Live. And, you know, like the sheeple, that's when sheep is going in one direction and they're heading towards the slaughterhouse and you're going the other way. Everyone is looking at you like there's something wrong with you. So when I say sheeple, that's people who are just like walking in a dead sleep, or we call it the spell of Kingu or Leviathan. And they're asleep, but they don't know they're asleep. This is why you hear the phrase woke. Everyone's now, oh, the woke community. And you know, some are not. You can wake up. Sometimes you know you're in a dream. You wake up and you think you're awake, but you're still in the sleep. So some people are just still asleep, but think they're awoke. So
yeah, some people are destined to be on the platter, the menu.
Yeah.
And like they will try and drag as many people down with them as possible. But yeah, stay on the path, man.
And the thing is as well that when you stay consistent. By your example, they will see the change in your life, and that's all you can do. And sometimes you have to distance yourself. You can have to love some people from a distance because, you know what I mean, no matter what you do, if you're surrounded by that negative energy, then you've got to just change your environment, all right? So yeah, it's initiation. You go through it, you stick to it, and it's also a test to see if you were actually convicted to what you know.
Endurance till the end.
Endurance to the end, and you shall receive the crown of life. All right. We are here for a unique reason. Okay, cool. Rahubat, this is Leonard. What is the difference between Wu-Sabat and Nuwaubian? Are you all united? If not, why?
Same thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, there is the difference is Wu-Sabat is a culture, and the Nuwaubian is one of that culture, which we will really say Musbatu in our language. But just like any other culture, race, you're going to have family members that don't all agree. And it's fine, we're still family. It's just that, you know what I mean, someone might like have a difference in opinion, and that's why we say don't deal with opinions, don't deal with emotions, really. Don't, or not that you have emotions, but keep them in control and not let the energy, emotion go off. And we are all united. It's like you hear the term the United States of America, but are they united? The different states.
United Kingdom.
The United Kingdom. You know, the United, there's that United word being thrown around. What's European? The European Union. But they're not united. So being united, we are, but we have our differences. So yes, the difference is, there's no difference between Wu-Sabat and Nuwaubian. It's just Wu-Sabat is the umbrella or the culture that Nuwaubians or Sabians or Musbatu are a part of. All right. Okay, Zafnatha Pan, if I can't pronounce that name. Noble Jew Ali, but Dr. York did that part. Okay, they're having a conversation. Everyone is not supposed, okay. Right, let's keep going. Yeah, remember you can call in live as well. All right, so the OSM Vision number to call in and ask us anything is 0, in fact, because you're calling into the UK from abroad, you have to put the +44, yeah, which is 53996, then 3882. I repeat, +44 753 996 3882. Do you want to do some questions? No. You've been on holiday. You should be refreshed and ready to.
I need to recharge.
Recharge. All right. Let me just take a little sip. One day you're gonna come, it's just gonna be him here, and I'll be gone like on a holiday or something myself. Peace and love to everyone. Rahubat, peace, love, and light. Black light. Okay, life is a blessing. Are the companies in Congo that have the people mining gold and causes all the war are the part of the same group who originally came here for gold? Yeah, in a sense, that's a very good observation, because their overlords were the ones that originally came here for the gold. But yeah, that's where the value of gold was kind of really placed, isn't it? And then till now, people are still wearing gold and, you know, using gold in a way that, you know, people would, like you say, unalive people, get them to mine it under harsh conditions and, you know, brutal, you know what I mean, ways which are not good, as you say, creating the wars, etc. So, but yeah, they're trying to get the gold, just like in the situation with the Anunnaki and trying to get the gold to have that dust cloud to basically help save the planet from the damage of the ozone layer. It's happening now here on our planet too, and they're trying to accumulate the gold for that. So that's why you literally can hardly find it, and anything that is scarce is where the value goes up, you know, so that's why it's going up. Yeah, they are, to a certain degree. And remember that Enki, when he started to wear the gold, and that's kind of where that whole kind of thing came from, because he was meant to be transporting it back, but he started to floss, and now you got people with gold teeth, or they call them grills and that, you know, gold teeth, all their teeth gold, gold chains, gold earrings, gold 10 rings for the 10 fingers. It's, you know, it's coming from that Enkiite. Yeah, so let's keep going. Rahubat. Oh no, wait, I missed one. Adam, I changed for what? To be like an outsider in their life and be a disappointment that's in their eyes. I think that's a conversation going on. Sibucio, Siso. Sorry, I can't pronounce that second name. Thembu, if I'm right. Rahubat to all, and to Dr. Z, to Malachi Z York. First Q is Dr. Teaching. Doctor teaching in jail. Second question. Okay, these are questions, right? Let me go. First question: is the doctor teaching in jail? Second question: when you come in to teach live in South Africa, Soweto? We keep saying that. People just give us these. Are you guys gassing or like hyping because we don't get the invitations? We don't get. Do you know what I mean? We have to know.
Send the tickets and we'll be right over there,
we have to know where we're going, where we're going to stay, who we're going to be with, and yeah, so let's work it out for real, if you guys want us to come and teach.
Yeah, we would love to come over to South Africa and teach.
Yeah. You know, it's no longer apartheid. Oh yeah, so the question is, does the master teach from? Yeah, he's been teaching most of the actual facts, patriarchs, and master secrets were during his incarceration, and a lot of stuff he actually penned before he was incarcerated that came out afterwards when he was obviously wrongfully incarcerated. So yes, yeah, we will come to South Africa, and we go all over the world and spread Wu-Sabat. Is the new Wu-Sabat store in South Africa? Yeah, listen, man, we want to work and with anyone who wants to help spread Wu-Sabat. We got a live call. Hey, Rahubat.
Hey, Rahubat Saken, this is Kenyan Wanji from Nairobi, Kenya.
Hey, Rahubat, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Hi, Saken.
Yeah, I'm with Asaru today.
What about me, Asaru?
They forgot about you, man. Forgot about
you. say hi to him too.
Yeah, he can hear you.
Greetings, man, greetings.
Yeah. Right, go ahead. What's your question?
So my question today is, what does our culture say about the chakras? And yeah, I'm still screaming free master teacher.
Yes, please. Yeah, what our culture says about the chakras, which is possibly different to what a lot of other people say, is that we are 9 ether beings, so we have nine, not 7, which is what most people are familiar with, because when people in our culture of our race, when they start getting into spirituality and they look around and they like, I'm tired of Christianity, it's not definitely the one. I'm tired of Islam, that's not the one. You know, yeah, Israelite, Jew, all of that, that's not for us. They look around, if they don't know or haven't been introduced to Wu-Sabat, their true culture, they will go eastward and they will go to like Buddhism or to Hinduism, and then they will teach them about the 7 chakras. And they obviously the seats, the glands that help you to transform yourself, because these every one of those seats, like the heart one, is for love, and we can keep going and look at like the pituitary or the pineal gland. So these are all parts of helping you to transform yourself and become a better being. And so there's so much to it. So it's a lot, but the bit I can give you in relation to what we say is like, because we're 9 ether, we have the other 2, which the master started to teach us, and you find that in our book as well. We break that down in there. So yeah, but they're all parts of your waking up and transforming. And yeah, all right, hope that helps. Ray, love the name. Why should you not eat sugar? I know. I have to remember all these shortcuts. I know what it do to the body. I want my genitals strong, but in craving it, what does it do to our mind? Yeah, you're addicted to sugar. Yeah. You go.
Literally cuts you off from the communication with our ancestors. Literally.
Yeah, and remember, yeah, sugar causes so much bad things. You know, your cavities, your teeth rotting. You got diabetes, the brain functioning. There was something I wanted to say. What did you say? Genitals strong, but in craving it. Yeah, the craving part. You have to remember you have a lot of parasites, and it's the parasites that are craving it, because you're literally feeding these parasites within you, and it's an addiction as well. And when you have an addiction, what happens is you're literally putting grooves in your brain, pathways that are then harder to get rid of, because that's how you become addicted to something. So these grooves are the pathways that, you know, the neurons are transmitted. So when you do something for the first time, it's not so bad, but then you do it again, then it makes a connection. You do it again, and then it just like becomes hardwired. Yeah, it becomes, and it's harder for you to get rid of. So the master teacher taught on one recording where he said, somebody was asking him about sugar, and he said, the first thing you should do is stop eating sugar. And the person said, what's the second thing? He said, stop eating sugar. and when we grow up, that's the programming, because everything sweet you gravitate to, and everything bitter you think is not good or bad. So that cuts you off. So really, you can get natural sugar. The sugars that are processed, it's literally like you're taking all the goodness out of it, and then you're ingesting the bit that it's not good for you. So yeah, there's a lot to sugar, and salt as well.
So the sugar stops you from communicating with your ancestors. It blocks that communication.
Yeah, a lot of what you say we've put together in the scroll. Fast track your spiritual and conscious journey. All right, and there's an online course as well, which literally you can log in, and there's so much good feedback that we get from them. So glad that it's doing what it was designed to do. Okay, let's keep going. There are no adverts on this stream, so please hit that like button and share it to friends and family. You know, that's something that is so easy for us to do, just to hit a button, push a button. But the programming sometimes stops us, and we have to remember that. You have to move together in one, and we can get much more done.
Got to share this beautiful, powerful doctrine to our people and friends, man.
That's right, to the world, to humanity.
Yeah.
Greatness, thank you for the answer and advice. Okay, great. Kunda, KC, are the Pleiadians the fallen angels? Yes, there are many types of fallen angels, though. In fact, we're fallen angels. but again, you have to break down what that means, meaning that even though we say we're 9 ether beings, which 9 is the highest number, it's the lowest when you're looking at 9 to the 9 power of 9.
Yep.
So we've fallen in grace and in our forgetfulness. So we don't remember who we are. We don't know what to... Most people don't know basics like how to breathe, how to sleep. You know, people say, what? I breathe every day. But you're meant to breathe through your nose and out your mouth. And most people don't do that, you see. So little things like that. Why do you sleep in a particular way? Because you've got to remember that you have your major organs. So the master teacher teaches us things like even how to walk and posture.
Posture.
Yeah, you see. So there's so much basic things that we take for granted that we don't know. So we have to learn
Didn't the master, Didn't the master just say that we was once 100% Etherian and now we're boasting with 9 ether?
That's right, and that's what we're trying to get back to. So we've fallen from grace, and so we go back to being those what you're calling angels that we were. But yes, you got fallen angels in terms of like the beings that were cast down here with the fight with, you know, the Revelation 21 talking about Michael and his angels fought the dragon, and the dragon and his angels. These are the dragon tying into the Draco, the Draco, Draconians from that, you know, constellation, and they're here. And it tells you in Genesis as well that, you know, the woman's seed will have enmity with the serpent seed. And the word zira for seed is sperm in the translation, and that's in the Greeks as well. So, yeah, we've got to remember that we've fallen, but there are all types of beings here that have fallen from the skies that, you know, they're using apparatus to, frequencies to like pull beings down here. They're falling in their crafts, they're captured, some of them are alive. There's so much information going on now. Beings are coming down through portals. Yeah, so, yeah, the Pleiadians are the fallen angels that are the overlords of the Adamites that were ruling for the last 6,000 years, but now their time is up.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't hear you if you said where to get the zig scroll. I don't know unless any other stores. That's why we say check all our stores. I check the stores online to see if anyone has it. If not, then I'm saying
eBay.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
You're
go
have to pay
to
money, baby.
Amazon,
Yeah.
eBay, etc. The incident, Rahubat. My question is, what does the master teacher say about homosexuals in the culture? Is it forbidden in the culture? First of all, with every subject, you have to know the details and the information about that, because there's a lot of misinformation as well with homosexuals and homosexuals, which is dealing with, you know, like I was mentioning, the androgynous society and community that we live in at the moment, with beings who are oversexed, and because they don't know they have a double frequency, meaning that, you know, you can be you can have physical appearance as a male, but have a female spiritual being. So you can be acting like a female, but you're in a physical male body, and vice versa. And then you have, you know, beings that are confused because they're different, because, you know, these gatekeepers and beings like who have the double resonant frequency, they were, you know, like Atom, they were beings that were able to be utilized because of their frequencies to open the the gates and
Gate
stuff.
walls,
So
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So each situation is different, but ultimately we don't really get involved with people's sexual preferences and activities and what they do in their bedrooms. That's their business.
Stay out of people's bedrooms.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if it doesn't bother you, affect you personally, then what is it to you? We don't gay bash or chastise or put people down for their sexual preferences. We're not homophobic. We treat humans based on who they are and how they treat us. If you want to read more information or get more information about that subject, there's a video on YouTube called Guardians and the Gateways, all right, that the master gave a reading, an update that was read, and it goes into detail about that subject. And you can also read Existence, How and Why, I think. Yeah, that has some information. So this is it forbidden. We're not a religion. We're not like, you're gonna go to hell if we don't play that. People asking this question, what does OSM stand for? Scroll to the top, it literally says it on the logo. Look at the logo. But I do realize not everyone is as observant, but it stands for Our Souls Matter, okay, because they do. All right, Keith Hunter, I hope that helps. All right. Oh, someone already answered anyway. Life blessings answered our soul matter. So yeah, people already answered that question.
Someone's got a question.
Yeah.
And they said, what do you do when your partner doesn't see the path and actually sees it as evil and weird?
I have to explain to you why they see it as evil and weird. And the thing is, you can literally, it depends on where they're coming from in terms of their background and like, what do they subscribe to? Because trust me, we can show you evil in religion, in the Bible, in the Quran, you know, dealing with all kinds of things you can never think of, rape, murder, drowning, killings. It's all in the Bible and in the Quran. So you just have to deal with actual facts.
I saw some father baptizing a baby.
Yeah.
He was on TikTok, like the way the guy had the baby.
Like nearly drowning the baby.
Yeah, like shaking it, like even the children were like, whoa, like.
Yeah. Honestly, you got to remember, you come into this world by yourself and you're going to leave by yourself. And even though you may have a mate, a partner or companion, you're all living your journey. And ultimately, you have to think about your soul and what's best for you. And you can't force anybody to do what you do, but just, you know, do the best you can and try and be as helpful as you can. And through your example, they may see the change, the transformation in you and come around. So really, you know, like, yeah, just try and use actual facts, explain things and break things down, and that's all you can do. But if you get to a point where someone's not listening, there's a
Flog them.
Stop that. You see, he's a bad influence on me, you know? But he gives me jokes, so it's good. There's a part of that called the argument that you should read. Have we got it there? Yeah, look through that. The argument, because it's like, why argue with people who don't know?
Waste of energy.
Waste of energy, you know? So you just got to do you and keep it going and be the best example that you can be. All right, let's keep going. The master teacher is free. I have knowledge that if we accept that he is free, then he shall be free. Yeah, okay, let's break that down for a bit, right? When we say the master teacher, you remember you got the physical body, Dr. Malachi Z.K. York. Then you've got Parnabab Yanun. Parnabab Yanun is always free, right? That being is far, 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 far more advanced, and he can leave anytime. But they are working together in union, as in the host that was designed to house that being is Parnabab Yanun. So yes, he's free in that sense, because you can be free mentally. You can't contain the mind. You can't contain the soul, right? However, the physical body is the one that we have to get out. And you're right, we can put that energy because we're mind, right? We're mental. So if we put our minds together and concentrate and put that energy and force, we can make this happen. And that's why we say the spiritual aspects are just as important as, you know, the physical aspect. They go hand in hand. So we posted the link. I'll post it again. And it's about how can you help, because it's not a thing where we just wish him to be free, or we just say, oh, he's free, then we don't put the motion and the action in the motion to actually get it done. With anything, yes, you first of all have it in your mind, but then it has to be manifested into the physical. So that's why we say, yes, he's free, but the physical body of Malachi is not, and we have to get him out. And it's gonna happen soon. All right, so spy that Trini TV. I hope you get what I'm saying. I shook from Atlanta, Sunray. I shook. All right, let's see. Nonly Fefi. Peace. My question is about the Bible, Revelation chapter 17. The great prostitute of Babylon. Is there a chance that this is ancient prophecy that has been altered and synced to suit an evil plan? Yes and no, because most of the things that people refer to in the Bible have already happened, but history has a way of repeating itself. So that Babylon you're talking about is referring to the Statue of Liberty and to the queen, when it was, obviously she's no longer here, but that's what it ties into that, you know, because they have a hand in terms of the colonization and going into, even like the America was originally, the settlers were from here. This is why there's that connection between the two countries, and you see all the presidents always come over to England and give homage to the monarchy. Okay, but yeah, if you read the master teachers, broken down the whole of the book of Revelations and put it out as, you know, the is it the blue one?
Even year 2000 and what to expect.
Yeah, but I'm talking about, you've got the Injil,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you've got the actual
Injil, yeah.
the book of Revelation. We need to heal critical. We need to heal the inner child from all the childhood trauma if we are going to be our best selves. Thank you for being your authentic selves. Peace, love, and light. You're absolutely right. You know, there's a lot of healing that we need. And some people use the herbs, innit? The healing of the nation. But you can't be, you have to be doing it with natural nature. And we definitely do need healing, because, you know, we've gone through a lot as a people. And remember, this is where epigenetics come in, because like you know, if let's say your ancestors went through those traumatic experiences, even though it's exaggerated in terms of what they call slavery, it's like, it's in your DNA. So you have to reprogram and recode your DNA. And this is why sometimes, you know, like a lot of people look down, like when the Caucasian or the Adamites or the Mukasu is speaking to them, they look down. It's like they don't look people in the eye. And that's one of those traits that comes from that era of the slave master. You can't look to them, and you know what I mean? And I'm just saying, like, with epigenetics, it's like they would do experiments where, you know, you can train some, a being or an animal. They've done this with like lab rats and so on, where trained behavior, and it ties into quantum entanglement as well. And you can have, you know, another species in another country that learn that behavior from what's happened, you know, over here, for example. So, yeah, we have to try and deal with a lot of the generational trauma that we've experienced.
Self-hatred as well, because
Yeah.
like when you look at the children and you ask them which doll do you prefer, they pick the white
Great
doll
example.
over it. So, yeah.
Yeah, even wearing all the, you know, people like they don't want to. They wear the blonde wig and stuff, and they don't want to accept that you're not looking like self and kind.
Yeah.
And if you look, even most of the celebrities, they will push the blonde hair, blue eyes. Do you know what I mean?
And they're pushing that a lot now.
Yeah, I noticed a
A
lot.
lot.
Yeah, so you have to think that's not your natural
Yeah.
state, you know. So it's all programming in the DNA that needs to be unprogrammed.
The bleaching as well, men bleaching, it's like, come
Yeah,
on,
because back in the day, you know, like you had to be an Uncle Tom in a way to be accepted. So you wanted to have the good hair, what they call good hair, which is your afro, your natural, you know, was like not in fashion, not accepted. So you had to then get a hot comb and start burning yourself.
But you remember when the master teacher said that they've seen the Caucasians do that?
Yeah, flicking
their hair or doing that. So they want to do that there as well.
Yeah, and he said that they're mad because now you can buy it and then you can do it.
Yeah.
But the reality is be as natural and keep it as real as possible.
They've even got wigs for brothers with the locks.
I know, that's a big thing right now.
That is mad.
They've got wigs for men now. You see bald men going to get this haircut, but it's, you know, so.
Brothers, don't go down that road, man.
So yeah, I'm glad you're talking about the brothers, because a lot of the times we want to talk about the sisters as if the men don't do it too, you know. But so it's about you trying not to be who and what you are. We've got Image of the Beast. Yeah, there's an actual fact called Image of the Beast that goes into great detail about that. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, good. The calls are not too bad today, so we can go through a lot of the questions online. Okay, let's see who else is next. Dolly the sheep, that's dealing with the cloning.
Rahul.
Yeah, you know what? Some of you are lazy. Like, take the time to learn Rahubat. Like, it's one word we say literally hundreds of times every day.
Yeah.
And learn how to spell it, just Rahubat. It means, I can see Jason Spears, he spelled it properly. Absolutely. Rahub-at or Rahubat. All right, so don't cut corners. Take the time to study and learn our language as well. What currency is used in the spirit realm? Love. Yeah, because people be trying to, like, these are like little trick questions.
That's the highest coin you can get, man.
Yeah.
A shug.
Was the sun called Isus or Isus in ancient times? It depends. That's, you know, where you get the word like Heliopolis. But the thing is that when you say ancient times, how far back are you going and calling ancient? Because if you go back to the Sumerian, they call them the three sons.
Apsu and Tiamat, is it?
Yeah. What's the other one? Utu, Shamash.
Utu, Shamash and
Apsu.
Apsu, yeah.
And in Egypt, you're dealing with Atum, Amun, Anun-Re, and Reye.
Yeah.
Okay, so depending on what you're calling ancient times, but yeah, that Isus goes back to,
that's the Greeks.
Yeah, when we say Solomon, we'd say Sol or Sal or Soul relates to the sun. Yeah, then you got Om, which is spelled O-M, or A-U-M, Om, which deals with the sound that the planet made when the explosion of the universe, when it started. So you got Om, and then you got On, as in when you say Solomon, On, that's the On that is dealing with the city of in Egypt, which we already said.
Is it Heliopolis?
Heliopolis, yes. So it depends on how far you're going back in terms of ancient times. But the sun, Reye, has always been recognized as the life giver on this planet, S-U-N. But then that whole thing about the sun walking on water and everything, because you see, like, when the sun appears to rise, what they call it, horizon, that's all taken from Horus, rising, or even when you say, because remember the sun deals with time, when you say min, you say minutes, you say hours, you're dealing with Horus, you see. So it's all tied into the sun, because the sun is what was grafted into religion as S-O-N, as the son, because you got the father, then you got the son, and then instead of the mother, they give you the ghost instead, the Holy Ghost.
All male characters,
Yeah,
man.
so
Joe.
the son is recognized as the giver of life. And then if you go to Malachi chapter 4, verse 2, talks about this time we're in, called the Son of Righteousness coming with healing in his wings. So we all need healing, and that's what Parnabab Yanun is here to do, for those who will accept and live by way of Wu-Sabat. Okay, Chris, my follow. My question today is, how should we operate in a couple since we were brain dirtied in a patriarchal system? Men are providing and lead the household and women are nurturing, follow. I feel like not. Okay, I think, really you should be working together now. It's about coming together, left and right brain, and working together. You have both hands, two eyes, two ears, so two sides of your brain. So it's about coming together in union and bringing that feminine energy, because it's their time really now. So
Man have to wash plates as well and cook.
is that what you do?
Yeah.
Nah, for real, you do. We have to help.
You got to do your parts, man.
It's the whole chauvinist and, this society that puts the woman behind,
Yeah.
puts the woman, that's religion as well. Women stand back and they haven't got a voice. Some barbaric societies or cultures like cover yourself from head to toe. You can't be in front, you stay in the kitchen, you know what I mean? So walk 10 steps behind me. You can't learn to drive, you can't have an education. That's so that men can continue to subjugate and try to control the women. But, the woman is actually more intelligent, far more intelligent, and you're their children, really. So we need to go back into that, get away from that patriarch. That's the whole thing with the Abrahamic religions. They're all about men. And throughout to today, you're doing prime ministers, presidents, and bishops. So many men in control that now that power is coming down, because it's the time of the sacred feminine. We got the Gospel of Yanun on the sacred feminine. You really need to, everyone needs to read that. And then there's a Parental call. What was it? The exact title I can't remember. But sexual violations of. See if we can find that as well. Nuwaubian.
Got the lotus.
Yeah, we've got the lotus. This is the sacred, the Gospel of Yanun on the sacred feminine.
Even this one, 18 plus 18 plus 1,
The
Mitochondria
lotus
and DNA.
of life. When you're dealing with relationships, you definitely got to read this. Yeah, this is 18 plus 1, 37 genes of the mitochondrial DNA. Some of them you might not be able to get hold of at the moment. But yeah, look at the Parental sexual violations. So yeah, there are many scrolls that the master has put out dealing with how you work together as male and female to operate at your optimum capacity.
But you got also the Nuwaubian man and
Yep, Sabian man.
Sabian female. So that will show you how to conduct oneself in a healthy relationship.
Yeah, you've got, someone else says, Maramia, Adam, I'm going through something similar. My family didn't tell me I was premature till a couple of hours that I turned 32. I never understand why they told me so late. Okay, that's a personal issue. But there was an update where the master was explaining to us about sometimes for us not to be so judgmental on our parents, because they had to do what they had to do in their day and time to keep us safe and to survive, and so you can't really blame them for doing something that at the time they may not have any control over, or sometimes there was a real good reason.
Would you say sexual violation?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, wu-nuwapu commandments on sexual violations. That's the one I was trying to find. That's a part of that goes into about relationships again. Thank you, Tawat. All right, let's keep going. Mara Mir, I know you would say that. Most women do say that. It says, I don't agree with the more than one wife, laughing out loud. But remember this, in Wu-Sabat, yeah, it's not about whether we agree or disagree. It's about the fact is a fact, what makes sense. And if that means like, and again, I'm not pushing it, I'm just stating the facts because the master gives us the facts. And I'm just saying like, we have to think about what makes sense for the survival of our race and not be selfish to think about just ourselves. And
it's not the mate that chooses, it's not the male that chooses, it's the female that chooses.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely she's involved in making the decision. But, you know, you don't agree. It's not for everyone, and not everyone can actually do it because there are strict rules and, you know, things that you have to be able to do to be able to even do that.
Yeah, with our mind state at the moment, yeah, that's not going to work in this.
Yeah. Okay, there are people having a conversation about it now. That's a topic that's always controversial. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Asar, gosh, can you pronounce that name? It's like 26 letters of the alphabet. Now, let me try. Asaramayotun. I give up. But yeah, capital letters is considered shouting. So let's keep it in love and unity, even though it's a heated topic. But you're right, people thinking about things from an emotional state and physical feelings, it's not about that, okay? Right, let's keep going. Okay, that's not a question, discussion. All right, does fasting from food, tech, etc. grow and develop our soul? Yes, because the process of digestion and the machine to use to break down food, and sometimes that energy could be utilized somewhere else, like in the brain or, you know, to do other things. So yes, you're right. Sometimes, and a lot of times when you're saying food, a lot of people are not even eating healthy food. So it does takes away the energy away from being utilized in much more productive ways. Why? I don't know why they would not inform us, especially when it affects. But as far as for the modern, okay, yeah, someone is saying the same thing. As far as a more than one wife is natural, my dear, since the beginning of time, pretty much. True. Sometimes the truth is a bit hard because we want to hold on to what we want to accept, but truth is truth.
I mean, when you look at the animal kingdom,
yeah.
And we can't say we're not animals when we're chewing on a chicken. You know what I mean? So
yep. I'm just looking because when there's a lot of discussion, I'm trying to find the questions within. So, yeah, they're just discussing that. We should maybe do that topic and break it down properly because the duo is united. They're talking about me and you. He's Robin, yeah, I'm Batman. Well, no, we're none of them because we don't know where them man are on, to be honest. I'm wearing those tights, them tight pants. All right, let's keep it going. Yeah, when we're together, it's a joke. I couldn't be in a class with him in school, you know that. We wouldn't get no work done. The sacred feminine knows the benefits of having it. Exactly. Responsible sacred feminine, those that have raised their vibration and they actually analyze and think about these things, they know it's true.
Yeah, not on that MTV EastEnder mode.
Yeah, all that housewives
of
whatever jungle. Yeah, you have to remember that these reality shows are not reality. And that's the game they tell you. Because remember, you're acting natural, but to film, you got to get the lighting right, the cameras and the angles, and you got to go, all right, take. you know, action.
People using next people's houses to do their things, like
Yeah,
it's not even their house. Yeah, they were saying that
All right,
today.
someone else is saying the duo are united and I'm going to have a great sleep tonight. I shook. This reality felt unfamiliar to me before, and since arriving in Wu-Sabat, it has only become even more mysterious. Yeah, because you know why? That's such an excellent point. They tell you you're running a race, you know, racism, races, but then they tie you up, like tie your legs and tie you up so that you're not running at your full capacity. So they're literally delaying you for years. You could be in religion for 30 years and you're not progressing because you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Yep.
And in that 30 years, it's held you back. So now when you come into Wu-Sabat and you're like, I got to learn 360 degrees. I've only got 3 or 1 or 2 degrees when I went to university and I didn't learn anything about the universe. So now you got to catch up. And that's why the master's like, let me do it all for you. You haven't got time to spend 30 years in Islam and master it, or 20 years in Christianity and then Hinduism and this and that. Like, let me just cut to the chase.
Yeah.
I've done it all. I've been there, done it. This is the right knowledge, the right wisdom, and the right understanding, and this is where they all got it from. So I'm going to take you, what did he say? On a long journey, on a short path.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, that long journey is all the information and the time that you got to absorb it all in is short. So let me just give it to you raw, direct, straight, and you just go get the DNA explosion, and it's just like, now I got to catch up on all the things that I've been lied to all my life. So yeah, you're right that once you come into Wu-Sabat, it's a DIY. You have to do some work, you know. It's not just about sitting down getting information. You have to put it into action, into practice.
Research, research, research.
Study, study, study.
Yep.
Then teach, teach, teach. Okay, let's keep going. I also fear diseases coming in the family. I don't mean to look at it one-sided, but same goes for the woman. Okay, that's not a question. Yeah, that question came up. Who were the builders of, because I did some research, I can't even pronounce it, Gobekli Tepe. Yeah.
Edward Lizinski or Coral Castle, you mean?
It's got a link, because when I was researching it, that's what it was kind of coming up with. But we're saying that there are many extraterrestrials that came to this planet that built many structures, and a lot of them abandoned the sites and left. And some of them are our ancestors, some are other extraterrestrials from other races. So, yeah.
Or Pumakunku.
Yeah, there's so many different sites that they started and they didn't finish. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep researching that because I couldn't find much on it, but it's just like so many sites around the planet. Okay, people are still talking about the wife thing. My dad had more than one wife. Okay, it's just discussions. Rahubat, what will happen in June 26, 2030? Right, let's get the glass. Where's our glass? The ball. They're looking. Well, it depends. If you know, there's a lot can happen. We don't know for sure. But the master says we're on the countdown to the end of the Adamites being removed from the planet by 2030. So we'll have to wait and see. He's written up, he told us what will happen the year 2000, and now he's telling us everything that's going to happen between now and 2030. So a lot can happen, a lot can change, and we are also part of that in terms of what we do.
We have the power to change it.
That's right. Okay, I think it has to be a completely different environment than the USA to have me. Okay. The wives thing, man. Why did we start this? Listen, man, we can talk about that topic. Go to the Telegram group and we'll give you all the facts. If you really study and think about it, there are a lot of women now that are waking up that realize how easy their life will be if they just got along. But they've made the women fight against each other to feel like they're in competition and so on and so forth as well. So just like with the men.
And it's funny how it's the female that holds the family together.
Yeah, exactly. You got a question? Cool.
So if we're
Okay.
divided, yeah.
Hey, Rahubat, Kenyan again.
Yes, but so I was trying to find out, since we say love is the key and love is everything, right?
Go on. Love. I didn't say love's everything, but yeah. But I'm following your question.
Yeah. So how should we treat like the negative people and the negative energy we are trying like get away from? Yes, that's the question.
Yeah. What we have to do is convert them.
Yeah.
Convert their negative energy to Wu-Sabat, positive.
Martin Caesar said that we've got the ability to absorb all negative energy and convert it
That's right.
into positive. As long as we're standing in God appearance, or what can I say, vibration,
Yeah.
or 90 for consciousness, yeah. We can make an angry person and flip it and make them
That's right.
be cool.
You know, like you can be
yeah.
with someone, they're frowning and they're like,
Yeah.
you can choose to leave them in that state. You can choose to make it worse, or you can choose to make them laugh. And you've just changed the vibration and the frequency, and they now, you know, the muscles they use to frown and be angry is, you know what I mean? It's not as much as the ones to smile. So it's like, it's better to be peaceful.
You use more muscles in frowning than smiling.
Yep. The Earth's frequency resonance is traditionally 7.83 hertz. Has it changed due to the pole shift? Yes, it has. If so, do we need to retune our chakras, or do they naturally remain the same? No, this is what we're saying. You got to tune yourself in, because it's like, if you're a musician, let's say you know about a guitar, you play a guitar, and after a while, I'm talking about natural nylon string guitars. Well, it doesn't really matter. It goes off, and then you have to tune it back. It can go off ever so slightly, but your guitar can be out of tune. And that's the same with us, because the planet shifts and changes, and it's morphing into the new cycle. So you're right that it does mean you have to tune yourself in. This is what the master was saying, that some people are flat. Because if you look at the notes, right, you have our tones FAC, but with each note, you can have a flat or a sharp, right? So you can have like, you know, if we take the F, you can have F flat, yeah? Which is really, yeah, E. But let me think of one. Like, let's take a G. You can have a G sharp, or you can have a G flat, yeah? So if you're too flat, you're just slightly backwards. If you're sharp, you're slightly ahead. But the middle one is the major. So we have to all come, if you're too ahead, come back to the major. If you're too low, come forward to the major. So it's about just tuning yourself ever so slightly. And you may say, why is that so important? It's like, think about a radio. When you're tuning to get a frequency, you know, because certain stations are broadcasting on, our station will obviously be 99.9 FM,
Yeah.
right? So we're trying to get to 99 FM, and you're just one off, and you hear that static,
Yeah.
because you're just one off. So then when you get it right, you're on that 9.999 hertz or .com or
Crystal clear.
Wu-Sabat every time. All right. Yeah, Rahubat, caller, where you calling from? What's your name and what's your question, please?
Bronx, New York. My question is, the study is based on preserving the human beings or the escape of Earth? The teaching is based on preserving the human being, or
Yeah, I was waiting for the last part. You said or, but I didn't hear the last part.
or escaping the Earth.
Okay, it's both.
Preserving or...
Like preserving is preserving or what?
Preserving or leaving.
Yeah, it's both. It's like, think about it like this: if your house is about to burn down, until it starts burning, you've got to live in it, right? But if it starts burning, then you got to leave. So it's about transformation, so that when the physical or when the things that are happening physically, they won't affect you if you've developed yourself to leave or to be able to be more of a soul or spiritual being. Yeah, because you can inherit, a body is just a skin suit that you can re-inherit or, so yeah, it's whilst you're alive, whilst you're here, we have to make the most of everything and be the best we can be. But there will come a time where you may need to evacuate or leave because the conditions may not be suitable for you to be sustained here. So we're preparing for both because we know that it's a reality either way. So yeah, so the answer is both.
But the master teacher always said that we do more for the physical than what we do for the spiritual.
That's right.
So we need to start
doing more
for the real you that is within.
That's right. Trying to see more questions. I thought in the beginning it was the matriarch and many husbands to one wife. That's a thought, but where's the documentation and the facts? There are some tribes where that happened. You know, you speak about like the Amazons and, you know, where they get that whole story from. But yeah, the women were first, and so we're returning to that because when things were in order, it was the women first, and then the the patriarch came in and suppressed the woman because the woman actually fell in love with her creation and gave up her divinity and started to rely on the man to do the things that, you know, he could do because he formed muscles based on testosterone and so on. So then the woman kind of like laid back and was like, you do it. And then after a while, she got suppressed, you know. Okay, people are having a conversation. I see where you all get your fears from, and you have, okay. My boy's back. Okay, they're talking about you again. Yeah, sir, my boy's back looking like $1 million. Yeah, I said to him today, and I won't say it again. I was busting a joke with him. I said, like, he's got all his gold already. Like, he won't need to put any in his sarcophagus still. I was like, King Tut, I ain't got nothing on you, bro. But he's looking shiny, man. But remember, yeah, we're just joking with some stuff, so don't take us too seriously. Yeah, remember you can call us live and speak to both myself, Saken and Asaru via this number, UK area code +44, and then the number is 753 996 3882. It's good to laugh, you know. The master said,
Yeah.
it's the joy of the soul to be smiling, laughing, you know. Like you can't, we've got a lot going on and we can't let it.
Yeah, you can heal the sick man.
Absolutely.
Just by laughing.
Yep. We need to laugh more and not ha silly joke and don't, do you know what I mean? But like have fun as well, you know, relax. Okay, I already explained that. What do you mean we are fallen angels? Is there the fall of man essentially lowering of a vibration? That's what I'm saying. It depends on how you're defining falling, because there's falling from the skies and there's falling in degrees and there's falling, as you say, in vibration. So yeah, depending on what we're calling falling, because English, as we keep explaining, is the problem a lot of the times, because one word can have several meanings and you have to be like, which one are you really talking about, you know? Do you eat pork? That's funny. I don't know if that's somebody having a conversation or if it's designed for us, but no, we don't.
Nah.
But we say that, but you never know how they sneak things into all kinds of products. Like, for example, do you know some of the toothbrushes are made from pork bristles? So you can say you don't do something, but I guarantee you they use literally every part of the pig for some product. So, but in terms of just digesting the flesh and all of that, no. But, you know, people, we have to remember that a lot of the times it's about balance and it's about eating the best of the worst that is available, because unless you're really in a situation where you're from the soil, from the, you know, like the soil is fertile and is you that not putting fertilizers or harmful fertilizers, and then you have your seeds and then you grow everything and it's all organic and you are responsible. You're never going to really know. So we say we do our best until we can do better, and don't beat yourself up too much if you can't do something. And I'm not saying then don't put the effort in, you know, but yeah.
This is why we need to grow our own stuff.
Yep.
Go back to nature instead of relying on canned food and stuff like that. Because once the canned foods are gone,
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it. Oh, Ray says, how do you sleep and walk, bro? Show us the basics. Right, so with the sleeping, it's more about protecting your major organs. So the master teacher taught us that you should really more sleep on your side.
Or upside down.
Or on your back. On your back. On your back. You see how, this is how religion starts. He's telling people to sleep upside down. But if you're not used to it, it might be difficult for you at first because you don't, people don't like, and I find as well, if you astral project a lot, then sometimes sleeping on your back is easier for you to kind of like your craft to leave. And but yeah, so the walking is more about the posture, because people slouch a lot, and like this is why one of the things it made us do when we went through the Native American school is to wear cowboy boots. Which helped us to strengthen our back and our structure. And women that wear high heel shoes, that's not good for you because it will affect your productivity in terms of having children. Someone on the line?
It's a voice note.
Okay. So yeah, when I say, I'm talking about them 6 inches high heels, stilettos and all of that, that were really originally worn by prostitutes. And so there are things that people do, men and women, that have come in, but you check the origins and look at what the cause is and who introduced it and why, you find out that it might actually be very harmful to you. So the master teacher doesn't leave anything, no stone unturned. All right, let's take this.
So it's a voice note. You can play it on there.
Yeah.
Hi, I have a question. Please explain the different type of mitochondria and Y haplogroup, how it started. Are we all from one man and one woman? We should all have the same mitochondria and Y haplogroup. Is the mitochondria L from the first woman, aka goddess?
Wow,
because
it's a long
lot
question.
of African people belong to the mitochondria L. And non-African people have different mitochondria. Is Y haplogroup E Hamite or Semite? Is Noah, aka Utnapishtim, haplogroup E or G? Since everybody might be from Noah, aka Utnapishtim, they all must belong to the same Y haplogroup. So they might say that there might be some mutation that may have led to different type of Y haplogroup. But I think, for example, like the mitochondria, there should be like, there's like L0, L1, L2, L3, all the way up.
It's only halfway
And
through.
that's how I think that everybody in the human, everybody should belong, because there's like L, there's H, there's different type of letters belonging to mitochondria. So I think there should be like, if there's a mutation, there should be like an L1, L2, L3, like that, not like to a completely different letter. So that's why I'm kind of confused. I mean, yeah, thank you.
Okay.
And also a different question is, so can you make the difference between what is a Homo sapiens and a Neanderthal? So are the mitochondria L from Homo sapiens or Neanderthal, or the non-African like Neanderthal? Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot, and a lot of it was also like, that's why when we say we have to also learn how to ask questions, because then we can have one question and it's very clear. But it's like, okay, so mitochondria is really, both male and female can have it. It's just that the female are the ones that pass it on from female to female to keep the record. So by the time you get different mutations and different things, it's not like but the theme is still the same. It's like, obviously, the Nagaru, the Negroid, the African woman would be first and most potent, but doesn't mean that the Caucasian female doesn't have a mitochondria, because she does as well. She passes it on to her offspring. That's why she's really 6 ether, and her male counterpart is 5 ether. But the variations that he was talking about, the Noah thing, this is again wrong information, because that whole story of the flood and everyone getting wiped out and Noah taking people into the ark and then coming out, and then the sons, was it Shem, Ham, and Japheth coming out, and they're saying to you they're 3 different races. It's wrong information. It doesn't work that way with DNA. It was later on where there was a graftation, but the Noah story was not the entire planet that was drowned and everyone. So there's a lot of information to it, and we can go into the details, but really that would take too much time. We have the Telegram group, we have the scroll called 18 plus 1, 18 plus 1, 37 genes of the mitochondrial DNA that goes in more detail. And the thing about, like, it's like the variations is like the blood types. If I use that as an analogy, it's like the original blood types would have been all positive. There weren't no different blood types until mixtures came in by, extraterrestrials that gave you the RH. And when you look at the RH, that's because of the rhesus monkey. And then, you start to get, like, they give you A, O, A, B, and then the RH, which would be, the negative or positive. So what I'm saying is, today you will find different races with a different blood types because of the mixing in. But originally, the O is the one that would have been most common, because when people need blood transfusion, etc., that's the most common type. But I'm saying to you, like, everything starts with 1 from the Africans, and he touched on what we're calling the Neanderthal, etc. Again, now anthropologists are telling you and breaking it down. And there's a scroll I held up before where humans were created from. I'm not sure if it's there. But
I remember that one.
Yeah, it gives you, because you're talking about the Homo naledi and the Homo habilis. That's the African stock, and that's all African stock. Then you have the Denisovan and the Homo florensis, which deals with the Asian stock. And then, of course, you have the Neanderthal and the Cro-Magnon, which is dealing with the Caucasian. So sometimes information gets mixed, and when you're saying Homo sapien, remember you went from genus Homo to Homo genius to then Homo sapien, and you're talking about upright, and that's really talking about that evolution of what they're calling the Neanderthal. And they were mixed in with simian genes, with porcine and canine. So that's where those come in as well, because this is part of the reason why they lost their souls and why they are actually limited only to 6 degrees or 6 ether, because of the mixing in, because animals can only elevate to a spirit level, because everything alive has a spirit. But when you start to deal with soul, that solar plexus going into soul, it's going to the higher dimensions. So yes, of course, it was a long question, which trying to give you as much as possible, but you can ask more in the Telegram group and read those scrolls that we've referenced to get more information. It's not another recording, is it?
Rahubat, big up all the family, the ones behind the camera that help every week, and all the brothers and sisters in the community.
Yeah.
Big up Asaru for joining again this week, not seen him in a while.
Yeah.
My question, has every race got an extraterrestrial helper? If so, what ET helps the Caucasian? What ET helps the Chinese, etc., etc.? Thank you.
Okay. We've broken that down so many times, but yeah. Do you want to go for that for now? Whilst I read through some of
The
these?
Caucasians would be the Palladians.
Correct.
That's their makers. The Andromedaeans would be the Asians. And
Jomo.
and then the Pa and the Tharu would be the Nagaru or us.
100%.
So each race has their own makers they're don't use overlord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're helpers, but not everyone listens to them, because even
Yeah.
if you look at religion, each religion starts off with an extraterrestrial coming to give them information, whether it's the angel Gabriel or Moses in terms of the beings that appear to him, or even down to Joseph Smith of
you
the
just read my mind.
yeah, of the Mormons, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, Moroni, it's like it always starts with an angel, an extraterrestrial coming, giving them information. They try to tell the rest of the people. They say, you're crazy, we don't believe you, and on a live view or whatever, you know. So it always ties back to these extraterrestrial beings, whether it's the Anunnaki, the Elohim, the Kachina, the Neturu, you know, many, many names that are used by the different cultures, you see. So, yes, every race has their warner, and we now have ours, because as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. And now the first shall be the last, and the last shall be the first. So, it's different time now.
But it's how many people will take the time to listen and research.
Yep,
Many are called, few are chosen.
exactly.
But yeah, it's up to the individual.
In the phrase, let there be light, I am light skinned, but my parents are black, and I'm still nine ether or demigod. In the phrase, let there be light, I heard you say that there were dust clouds that had to be removed so the sun could shine. My question is, how was this dust removed? It was removed with the crafts.
Craft, yeah.
Yeah, the crafts that were hovering over the planet. That's what they were doing. It's like using a Hoover, but obviously they got extraterrestrial technology, and it was about, that's what the terraforming that was being done by Enki and you know, the Anunnaki. So, yeah, that's how they did it. Then we just literally moved the dust out of the way, and then the sun came through, shining through. Yeah. Let's keep going. Gosh, they're still talking about the
modern wives.
yeah, how it affected the family in that. Also, how can someone start a bookstore to spread Wu-Sabat in Dallas, Texas? There isn't any community I can go to. Again, plug into the family, and we will put you in tune with the people you need to speak to, and the office and the administration, and they will guide you and help to do that. Is the Bermuda Triangle a portal? Yes,
Yep.
Yes, it is. Vortex. And this is why a lot of times, if you notice, it was when metal ships that tried to go past it, because of the magnetism, they get pulled in. But if it was like a wooden boat, it wouldn't really happen. So you got the 3 points of the triangle. What do they call it? The Devil's Triangle?
Yeah, you got the Bermuda Triangle and the Devil's Triangle.
Yeah, that's right.
Devil's Triangle was in Philippines.
That's right. So cool. I mean, in terms of, I can see people are saying I'm in Dallas. Wherever you are, it's good to at least start a study group or study community where you guys get together, study the books, and come together and do the chants, you know, do the things and start to build a little community, and then, you know, you take it from there in terms of then establishing yourselves and getting.
And if they've got the United Sabian worldwide thing, they can see what's the closest store to them.
Yeah, we
And
post
then link
that.
up, yeah.
You make me feel at home here. Church never touched my soul like Wu-Sabat. Never touched mine either. Honestly, if you really remember going to church, unless it was one of them churches where there was a lot of singing, dancing, and you got food at the end of it.
Yeah, that was one I did, don't we?
You didn't really, you were just waiting for your mum to finish or your dad or whatever to finish so you can go home. Yeah, it's the energy, the vibration. And I tell you, there's a sketch that one of my favorite comedians, Eddie Griffin, did. It's called Freedom of Speech, if you haven't seen it. Anything I mention, where we're not sponsored by any of them, it just comes up because it's just things I've experienced. But he talks about going into a church, and he he makes it so funny because he's like, when you're in one of them churches, it's like Damien is coming out because you hear, you hear the music, and like it's just like a horror movie, you know. And then he gives the contrast when you go to like, you know, like a black church, and there's vibes, even though they still they do the dances when they get the Holy
Man,
Spirit.
shuffling doing the James Brown.
They do James Brown and everything, because that they catch the Holy, they call it the Holy Spirit, but they catch the Holy Ghost, and then some of them just start, you know, throwing themselves on the floor, the holy roller churches. But yeah, yeah, I'm glad we make you feel at home, and that's what Wu-Sabat is supposed to do. How are we doing for time? Okay, we still got a bit of time. Gosh, there's a lot of conversations I have to get through to get to the questions. Okay, Brusca, sorry, Brusca Noise, greetings. My question was skipped earlier. Just a kind reminder. Was hoping for an answer. I gotta try and find it. Do you remember what Brusca's question was? Can just ask it again so that it saves us having to kind of scroll and try and find it. Just if we are the descendants of our creator, is there origin of the creator? Yeah, okay. We've got a live call. Hey, Rahul back. Greetings. How you doing? Yeah, with my brother, Rahul. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Sorry, you skipped my question.
Oh, that was you. Excellent. Yeah, because I was trying to find it. Go on.
Apologies, you
No,
skipped
it's
the
right.
question.
Yeah.
This is a very, very big question for me. That is it possible for one to become the student to teach, to learn how to teach? Is it possible?
Absolutely. That's what everyone is supposed to be aspiring to. And I think naturally you evolve into one, meaning that the more you attend classes, because repetition helps to enforce knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So the more you read, the more you study, the more, like, you hear people ask the same question over and over again, you're going to get to a point where someone's going, as somebody's asking a question, if you find yourself doing this, then you're ready to teach. Where someone asks a question, you have the answer in your head, and you're literally like, I've heard that before, so you're going to now kind of repeat it. And that's what happened with myself when I used to go to classes. I've told this story right from the beginning, innit? And I had so many questions. I used to be meticulous with my questions. Like, I would read and study, write questions, and go to classes religiously, like looking forward to it. You know, like church, I didn't look forward to it, but these Wu-Sabat classes, I was looking forward to them every week. And then I got to a point where, because I'd heard the questions over and over again, when somebody else was asking a question, a newcomer, I was answering the question in my head. So when you're at that point, you literally know that you've got to start teaching as well. You don't even have to wait to that point. But it's in terms of knowledge, you can read one of the master's books and you can start sharing it straight away.
Literally.
But in terms of,
So sorry to jump in there.
let me finish this because it's important, right? Sorry. In terms of character, in terms of how you deal with people and being respectful, being humble, that those things, people that are just new may not have, unless you're naturally like that, you have to develop those things, because sometimes we get carried away with our ego and we know so much and we don't then let everybody else speak, or like, you know, we want to badger them. And so that's something you have to learn not to do. So, sorry, you were going to say something else.
So you were saying, you just mentioned ego right now as well. So you were mentioning before that once soon as you read the book, one of the scriptures, and you have the information, you can share that. But then at the same time, I don't want to feel like I have that ego that I know, because I don't have much depth knowledge of what I'm teaching. So
No, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's what you know, like what you teach what you know. What you don't know, you can get caught up in the trap when you start to. That's where the ego steps in, where you try to teach or say things that are out of your depth, and then people will then trap you, or you kind of get tongue tied. And so, you know, really, it's just what you know is what you teach. But the master also says, like, if you don't know, then you shouldn't be teaching. So it's a catch-22, in other words, you know.
It's good. We have great teachers like you that can direct us and help other people that they can come to where we are trying to get to.
Yeah, that's what we're all doing. We're all teaching and teaching each other, and then you know, there are far more other teachers out there as well. You know, we've got many teachers, and even the female teachers that people haven't kind of encountered yet, but you know, they will be coming. But yeah, so the first thing is don't run before you can walk. You know, get yourself situated, study, ask questions, and when you get all your questions answered, you have all the answers to then, because those questions you had, someone else is going to have them and come to you, and then you can help them with that. Yeah, I hope we helped.
Because we need to go to Africa and teach our brothers and our sisters and show them that there is love above everything.
Absolutely,
Cheers.
absolutely.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Where are you? You in Africa?
No, he's here.
Oh. Yeah. Get the tickets ready, man. We'll fly out there. Get the tickets ready, man.
I was there today to come and pick up with yourself.
He came to the store today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna see you.
See, it was meant to be because you're seeing him now. All right. Ciao, ciao. Wadu.
Wadu, man.
Okay, where are we? We've answered all the questions. Let's start scrolling back up. See if we've missed anything. Are you in touch with Dr. York's sons? Some of them, yeah. That's from Hakeem. Yeah, I mean, we're family, and people live different parts of the world, and there are many sons, many children. So some of them, yes. Was I brought up in Christian church? Or the ones before I found out what happened to them. I was brought up in Christian church. I don't really get the question. It says, I still want to know what happens. I can only do so much, and I love so many. Or the ones before I found, okay, they're still talking about the family, what the many wives and stuff caused. What happens to the good loving people that don't wake up? So many I love around me is asleep or half awake, but they are loving people that always help when needed. Yeah, I mean, excuse me, we're not the judge, and not everyone's going to be ready at the same time, or even in this cycle, you know. Yeah, we say it's the great and dreadful day of the Lord, innit? It's great for some and dreadful for others. Unfortunately, this is why we have to do the job of letting it be so widely, letting it so widely known in terms of Wu-Sabat that everyone has the opportunity to be exposed to Wu-Sabat. And if at that point they still choose to turn the other cheek or go the other way, then
that's on them. Yeah,
it's on them.
I mean, you can do the best you can do to your ability and share the information to those that want to receive the information. Those that don't want to receive it,
I mean,
can't force them.
We're in a day and time where remember the master came to prepare us, and he had an allotted time, which was really 1 hour, but broken into 2 half hours, referred to symbolically as the first 30 years, from 1970 to the year 2000, and the second one is what we're on now, from the year 2000 to 2030, and we're already in 2025. So he's like, time has run out, and we're crossing the desert, and you know, when you're crossing the desert, as an analogy that he's using to teach us, is that in order to cross from one side to the next, if you get halfway, you're at a point where you can't go backwards. So if anyone that has been left behind, you can't go back for them, because you won't make it across. So it's a sweet, bitter thing, because if you make it across, you're saved. if you go back to help the people you want to who haven't kept up, then you might lose you making it. So he's like, if you fall behind, unfortunately, we can't really go back for you. But if you fall in front, we can pick you up and help you go and move along. So that's to say that everyone will have the opportunity in some way, shape or form to know about Wu-Sabat, but not everyone will accept it or gravitate towards it or take it on board or take it seriously. And we get so many people that we touch that come around and they promise all sorts of things. They're going to help do this and do that, but then they don't deliver. And after a while, they fade away. So many people have come, and it's referred to as the great falling away, because many people will not make the journey. No one knows they're going to make the journey or guaranteed that they're going to make the journey. But, you know, by that being committed and consistent, staying very close to the guide, the master teacher, because he constantly gives us upgrades or information and not many people can keep up. So with every change, every school we went through, many people dropped off. Or if not the schools, it might be, I don't like that person, that person doesn't like me, they don't get along, emotions get in the way, and, you know, that can cause them to, you know, not continue the journey. So it's really down to everyone to stay as close to Partner Bab Yanun, Dr. Malachi Z. York, as much as possible, through the books, through your connection spiritually with him, and continue, to stay. And obviously your ancestors as well, they're there to help you, guide you, and walk with you to keep going. You know?
I think in Islam they call it jihad, isn't it? The
Yeah.
spiritual battle.
Yes, right.
Within. So you're going to have some ancestors that want you to gravitate towards Wu-Sabat, and then you're going to have some ancestors that don't want you to gravitate towards Wu-Sabat.
Maria says, what is our core value to Yanun, the master teacher, and those who created us, those who did not create us, that they want us to survive, not to survive the calamities? Well, we are their children. If imagine your children were stranded somewhere and you could see danger coming, and you know that, you know, you want them to make it, they're going to help you to try and take you out of harm's way. The ones who don't want you to make it, they're utilizing your power, your energy, and utilizing you as a shield to protect themselves. So yeah, it's your parents, your ancestors, they're looking to come and collect you because they want you to make it and survive. They want you to experience other, you know, worlds and avoid the calamities. But there are those who know that they're not going anywhere, and they want company. They want you to, what do they say? Misery loves company. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Arlington, are we as Nuwaubians permitted to visit the inner earth, or is entry restricted to us?
Well, if you got pass,
Well, most of the entrances have been blocked off now because obviously as more and more information got exposed and the truth is coming out, people want to go there, but you have to be careful because you have, you do have, you know, trying to find the right word. I was going to say military, I don't know. There are people that are going to stop you going into certain places, and there are extraterrestrials that, do you know what I mean, they don't want people to know about. So yeah, you can go or try and go, but you have to, one, know where the entrances are. Two, do you know who you're going to? You might end up as being a sandwich.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
you know what I mean? So though they say curiosity killed the cat, innit? So be careful what you wish for, where you want to go, and why you want to go there, and what's going to happen when you get there. So yeah, it says someone's answering about the ego is always giving you the negative aspect of things, once it is in a comfortable zone, why when you have a great idea, it says what? I think, yeah, that's the conversation. We got like literally about 21 minutes left. So if you haven't had your question answered, and if you haven't liked this, any of our videos, take the time to subscribe, like, share. But yeah, I think we've gone through most of the questions. I'm trying to find anything that we may have missed. Yeah, we've covered that. If you haven't had your question answered, just post it again so I can find it at the bottom, because we have a lot of questions. And yeah, thanks for keeping us company. Thanks for like asking questions, and you know, let's keep it going. We've got 20 minutes exactly left.
Oh yeah, when I'm watching the replays, you're getting loads of phone calls like.
Yeah, I think, I don't know what's happening. People have preferred to put it in the chat. But like anything, some days you get more than others, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to the bottom. If your question hasn't been answered, just post it again. Yeah, because I think we've covered every question. Okay, so I'm going from the bottom now. Rahubat Ashok. I've watched that much OSM videos. I have no questions left. Everything in the Omniverse has been covered. Oh, we got a live caller. Rahubat, Sunra, where are you calling from again? And what's your question, please?
Peace, I'm Shook, calling from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Shook to y'all.
Rahubat.
I have a question. To keep it very simple, how do we get off? What are the steps we take to get off the menu and stay off the menu? If we are to believe that a mass sacrifice event is what be incoming, how do we stay off the menu?
Right, good question indeed. We stay off the menu by listening to the man who knows, reading Wu-Sabat, changing our diets, and literally changing your vibration. And I mentioned this, the movie World War Z, or Z as we say.
Oh yeah.
If you watch that movie, it's talking about the zombie apocalypse, because it's, you know, like you say, these are things they tell you in movies, but the, you know, the prophecies and the predictions talk about that time where the Walking Dead. I think it was even in what was it? It was the Super Bowl the other day. They showed zombies sitting in the audience. It may be AI or CGI or whatever, but it looked real. But the master has spoken about this time, and the reason I'm referencing that movie is because you look at the World War Z. I've broken this down before. The Z is red, and you have to ask why Z, or Z. It's because if you look at the alphabet, the last letter is Z. So you're talking about the end, and you're talking about why is it red, because it's dealing with blood. And you say the Z, what is the Z standing for? And you look at these beings come from Zeta. And we were talking about zigzags. These beings like that, Z is dealing with the Z also looks like a S if you look at it, and ties into the S being the serpent people, or these draconians that eat human flesh, and you know, from these constellations, the draconian or Draco constellation ties into Dracula when you're dealing with the zombies, because Dracula lives off of blood, and the beings are hemophiliacs, or beings that they're bloodthirsty, and that's why the religious books, they talk about these gods that you got to make sacrifices to them, spill blood on the altars and try and sacrifice animals and things like that. So all that to say, in that movie, if you're a meat eater, or whatever you put into your body gets burnt, because when you look at your digestive system, what happens is you chew the food and then you break it down into liquids, and then it goes down, and then your bloodstream, it can seep into your bloodstream as the blood has acid in it, and that acid is what burns the food. And you also got your solar plexus, which is the fire within you. So the heat that you're taking in oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide. So there's a burning happening, and that is what the smell you give off. This is why animals can smell you from a mile away, and other beings that have very high senses in terms of they can smell you. So in the movie, they're looking for food, looking for flesh, looking for beings to eat, and they can pick up your smell. And that's why whatever you eat, whatever you put into your body, it's going to ooze out or give off a smell. And we don't know what we smell like. And fear has a smell, emotions has a smell, you know. So these higher beings, they can pick up that. So that's how you take yourself off the menu, by changing your diet, changing your smell, and changing your frequency and vibration. Of course, when you study, you know, health and nutrition, you know about the acid and the alkaline. So when we deal with the acidity, is like when things are a little bit more, where like diseases and, you know, viruses and things like that will thrive. Whereas the alkaline deals with natural, what do we call it? What do you call it when you eat raw food and things like that? So yeah, it's about changing your mentality. Your mentality helps you to change your diet and your way you act and behave. And it's a work in progress as well. But yeah, do you want to add some?
Less energy in breaking down the alkaline food as well.
Yeah.
Actually breaking it down.
So to summarize, taking yourself off the menu is changing the way you think, and that's what Wu-Sabat is here for. Changing the way you think then changes the way you act. And okay, we've got another caller. Caller, what's your name, where you calling from, and what's your question, please?
Sakar, Arizona. And this first one isn't a question, it's just kind of like how I feel. I don't really meet too many other people who are like-minded like us, I would say. But I'm tired of being on this planet. I want
You're not alone. Go ahead.
I want to already ascend, you know, like I know there's something for us to do here and all that, but I also have like this urge and this yearning of like there's gonna be a war, and then I'm supposed to be a part of some spiritual war, and that I'm not gaining that here. Like I'm doing my job as, you know, listening to the guide inside and following what I need to be following spiritually and making the moves I need to do, but I'm just tired of this world. I'm tired of everything about it. I don't associate myself with anything of it. But my question to you, brother, is how close were you and Pat and Yanun? Like, were you two very close? Like, how is he? You know, like how is he as an individual, or his spirit?
I mean, I mean, as close as could possibly be in terms of, you know, we sat down, broke bread with him, ate with him, were around him. But in terms of how he's doing, and again, there's a connection that you can have both spiritually and so on, but really, we just need to get him out, like ASAP. And so in terms of how is he, he's holding on. He wants to obviously come out, and but he's disappointed, if I can use that, with us, because we are supposed to have elevated and have done so much more, and been, Wu-Sabat should be literally really out there. That's why I was saying previously that there are people who talk the talk but don't walk the walk, and you still need guidance. I know you say you're tired and you want out. Trust me, a lot of us do. But it's like
a lot more to go.
Yeah, it's like where you going, who's going to be on the other side to receive you, and so on and so forth. So it's also about being guided and prepared in terms of the next. Go on.
how was he when you like how was he when you guys broke bread with him? Like how is he as an individual? Like can you like see how powerful he is? Like
Oh,
when he speaks to
absolutely,
you?
absolutely. Listen, like just him being in the environment in the
Yeah.
room changes the vibration and the frequency. He's funny as hell. Like his sense of humor is it's like he's the most loving being I've ever seen. The most caring, the most literally. I think I said this last week. Like whatever you can use as an example of a being, he is that plus more. So that's why literally we do what we do, because there's no way that being should be where he is right now, especially because he's here for humanity and to really change. It's almost like it doesn't make any sense for you to think you have a being here that can help solve the problems of the world, and no one is saying, I'm talking about the so-called powers that be, let's speak to this being and give him the platform. It's more like they say when they think extraterrestrials are coming. First thing is what? Shoot them down, kill them.
yeah.
They're coming to harm us. It's like the fear kicks in, as opposed to looking at it for, okay, look at what he has done in the little time that he was already out here. So it's bittersweet. It's something that, and this is why we say we have to support all the efforts that are being made. You know, people have their opinions and, you know, say whatever they want to say, but everyone will be in a position to be judged and asked, and like, what did you do to help? Do you know what I mean? Because once you know something, if you don't fix it, you're part of the problem. You know what I mean? It's like you see something's broken and you don't help to fix it. So then what are you doing? So we're all responsible, and we're judged as a species and judged collectively, and that's a test for us to elevate humanity to the next level. So we really, if we want to be free, if we want to leave here, if we want to get to know the way and the secrets, we have to free him. And, you know, he will be free. We want it as soon as, like, yesterday. Yeah.
I thought you were
want
going to add
to go
to that.
see
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, but that's going to
I've
be,
been wanting to for months.
okay, so you can go spiritually.
You can
but,
see him.
But in terms of physical, like, obviously there are rules and regulations, and only certain people have access to visits and to communication. So if people go or try to do things that are outside of the regulations, it can actually end up harming him, because he gets like, you know, because they're hating, of course. So yeah, he can get the restrictions on certain things. So it's important to work from the inside out, so that, you know, you don't go off, even though you may mean well, but you know, you can actually end up causing more problems than, you know, your intentions, which were good. Yeah. So where did you say you're based, brother?
I'm in Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, I know there are family out there, but yeah, if you feel, sometimes you need to be around family to feel that energy and to feel that buzz and to feel like you're all working together, actually having something to
But at the
live
same
for.
time, you've got the power to make it happen, make it a positive thing.
Yeah.
Like you can convert the negative into a positive. You've got that power within you.
Yeah,
I
you.
just find myself having to, I check myself a lot. You know, I always have to keep re-humbling myself, because as we grow, even with knowledge, not even just on a spiritual level, you know, and I give you a lot of props, because I've seen you discuss things with people, and they may not be as knowledgeable as you, but I have to check myself over and over, because I have to keep reminding myself they don't know. So when people say a lot of ignorant things, I'm like, just let it pass. And you know,
Yeah.
when I've been like on 3 years now, maybe on my journey, but I have to keep reminding, like, not even that. I just stopped, and I know that's not good, but I've become so frustrated with. I'm like, if I figured this out on my own, how can you not? And
Yeah.
that's what keeps frustrating me, especially as our people.
Yeah, I'll get you. And sometimes people are like, you know, why don't they let you speak? They keep cutting you off and all that. That's all what I was saying. It all comes with, you know, territory of like, and I think one of the best things you can do, like you say, is check yourself, you know, be retrospective in terms of, you know, could you do better? What did you do? You know, how can you improve? And that's how you keep developing, because you have to always remind yourself where you were at one point and that you still got a long way to go. So that kind of keeps you humble. And the master teacher himself, like if you listen to any of the recordings and the teachings online, when he's speaking to different people, he's always very humble, and he can humble anybody at any time in just a few minutes or maybe less. But you know, you never hear him really lose his cool.
Cool, nah.
Yeah, so.
And that's crazy, yeah, because, you know, that's one thing that actually attracted me to you, because unfortunately, you know, like I try to watch some of his teachings, but some of the videos that are out there.
Yeah.
But you're very humble and you have a pure spirit, you know,
Thank
and that's
you.
what you're not biased. You just I'm a seeker of truth. I'm a truth seeker. So I don't align with any religion. I don't align with any politics, whatever it may be. I align with the truth. And I'm also very in-depth on research. And one of the things I love about you guys is you don't just say, you know, whether it may resonate or not with the person, you show the proof.
That's right.
This is why we are telling you this. And to me, that's so important, because no one does that.
That's
at
right.
all. And I remember when I was first new and I was learning the truth, doing so much research. And one of the reasons why I got frustrated is because when I wanted to tell everyone around me.
Oh man.
Hey, this, hey, that, hey, this. And they're just like, you're crazy. And I was like, what? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you're
get tired
so
of it.
right.
You're gonna find out if you're gonna find out.
You're so right, because you would think most people want the truth. They say they do until they get the truth. Because once you get the truth, it's like you can't undo or unsee what you found out. You know, it's like taking the pill, the red and blue pill in the Matrix. So it's like now you got to do something about it. And I think that's when people don't want to apply that. And it's funny you're saying what you're saying, because like it's like Noah building an ark in the middle of the desert, telling everybody the floods are coming. It's going to be flooding. And you're thinking to yourself, this guy's crazy. So you're in the middle of the desert and it's hot. We haven't seen rain in years. What are you talking about? You know, so yeah, it's like that when we tell people the truth, they're just like, they can't see it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just amazing.
One question, I'm gonna let you know. I don't want to keep your time and
No problem.
be selfish with everyone else. The Elohim and the Anunnaki relation, does that mean, like in the Bible, how they refer to Elohim, are they really just referring to the Anunnaki and thinking that the Anunnaki were angels when they say that?
Yes, absolutely, 100% spot on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
See, you ready to teach, blood?
Yeah. But yeah, remember, you can't check out. You got to do some work and help others. So you can't be. Yeah, you got to wake up others. But thanks for the call.
Let me wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you, brother. Thank
All
you.
right.
Bye.
Appreciate love. Okay. What's the time? I think we might be coming. Oh, 2 minutes. Yeah, I was letting you look through to see if there are any questions I may have missed out, but I don't think so. But if there's any, look from the bottom, because I was saying to everybody about submitting them from the bottom. You know what? The time goes so quickly when we speak to you, and I'm humble when I hear people say things to me like, you know, I try my best to learn from the master teacher as much as I possibly can, and I think that's the yardstick or the goal to go to you know, try and yeah, because he's the best example I know. And trust me, I scrutinized and researched pretty much everyone out there, because when you really want to know the truth, you've got to really check out who's telling you the truth. And I did, one of the things I wouldn't say didn't like, but I find when people didn't give him the respect and the, you know, what they say, respect to who respect is due, innit? Like they will talk and give the information and act like he's not the source. And I don't think that's a good look. It's not respectful to not give reverence or, you know,
Remember, he's been teaching from 1962, 63, this information. Who he is, where he's coming from, who we are, where we're coming from, extraterrestrials, New World Order, microchipping, cloning.
Name it. He's covered it before everyone else.
Yeah.
Right, people I love and respect are meat eaters. They do very good deeds. Yeah, remember, this is not about being a good person, you know. When you need to get a job done, you know, like, would you hire someone that was terrible at the job but was your best friend? But you had to get a job done and do it to the best of your ability. So it's not about being good people. There are lots of good people, good Muslims, good Christians, good Jews, good people. But it's not, being good is just, it's not enough in terms of for you to get to where you need to get to. So we're not trying to say that there aren't good people. There are good people in all walks of life, as there are so-called bad or disagree with people in all life. So it's not about being good or bad, it's about being right and being able to get the job done. Oh, look at this, LA Storyteller. I love when I see Sakhen and Asaru together. What a great team. You hear that? So you can't be missing for too long. Teamwork is the best work. OSM Vision will unite the world with Wu-Sabat.
That's
That's
real.
the best way to stop for today, I think. I think I need to read that again. LA Storyteller, you're telling a good story, everyone's loving it. Yeah, so you say OSM Vision and will unite the world with Wu-Sabat 100%.
That's
So
real.
on that note,
We're
going to leave it there. That's a nice place to stop. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and join our Telegram group because we continue with the conversation. All right.
Share, share.
Much ashuk. Divine love.
Yes, yes.
Wu-Wadu.
Wadu, Moisa.